The conference room erupted in stunned silence as Magnolia Thorne, the iron-fisted CEO of Apex Innovations, slammed her fist on the podium, her voice slicing through the air like a blade. Selena's personal choices have no place in this company. Her lifestyle is a distraction, a liability, she declared. Her eyes locked on Selena Ramirez, who stood frozen at the back, tears welling up as colleagues whispered and phones buzzed with the livestream feed going viral. But in that shattering moment, Magnolia had no inkling that Selena's sister, a decorated Navy officer, was about to turn the tide in ways that would unravel everything. Selena Ramirez had always been the quiet force behind Apex Innovations, a tech startup in the heart of Silicon Valley that promised to revolutionize renewable energy. At 28, she was sharp, efficient, and utterly devoted to her role as executive assistant to Magnolia Thorne, the 35-year-old visionary who had built the company from a garage dream into a multi-million-dollar empire. Magnolia was everything Selena admired: fierce, brilliant, and unapologetically ambitious. But beneath the professional facade, their connection had blossomed into something deeper, a secret romance that started with late-night strategy sessions and evolved into stolen kisses in the dimly lit office after hours. It began innocently enough. One rainy evening in San Francisco, as they pored over investor pitches, Magnolia's hand brushed Selena's, and the spark was undeniable. "You're more than just my assistant," Magnolia had whispered, her voice soft against the patter of rain on the windows. Selena, who had come out as lesbian in college amid family support but workplace caution, felt seen for the first time. Their relationship grew in the shadows, weekend getaways to Napa Valley vineyards, where they'd sip wine and talk about dreams beyond boardrooms. Magnolia, raised in a conservative Texas family, had never publicly acknowledged her own bisexuality, fearing it would undermine her authority in a male-dominated industry. But cracks appeared early. Magnolia's board was pressuring her to go public with the company, and whispers of internal drama threatened the IPO. Selena's openness about her identity among close colleagues clashed with Magnolia's need for control. "We have to keep this quiet," Magnolia insisted one night in her penthouse overlooking the Bay Bridge. "The world isn't ready for a CEO like me. With someone like you." Selena nodded, swallowing the hurt, believing love would prevail. The turning point came during Pride Month. Selena, inspired by her sister's stories of resilience in the Navy, organized a small company event to celebrate diversity. She invited speakers, hung rainbow flags in the break room, and shared her own story in an internal newsletter. Magnolia, upon seeing it, panicked. "This could scare off investors," she fumed in a private meeting. Selena defended it passionately. "It's about inclusion, Maggie. It's who I am, who we are." But Magnolia's fear won out, and she ordered the event scaled back. Tensions simmered until the annual shareholders' conference in Las Vegas. Amid glittering lights and high-stakes presentations, a rumor surfaced. An anonymous tip claiming Selena was using company resources for personal advocacy, tying it to her lifestyle choices. Magnolia, cornered by skeptical board members, chose self-preservation over loyalty. On stage, under the harsh spotlights, she denounced Selena publicly, framing it as a necessary purge for the company's image. The audience gasped. Social media exploded. Selena, humiliated, fled the venue, her phone ringing with concerned calls from her sister, Captain Elena Ramirez, who was stationed overseas but always a pillar of strength. Back in California, Selena collapsed in her modest apartment in Oakland, sobbing into her pillow. Elena's voice crackled over the video call. "Sis, what happened? Tell me everything." Elena, 32 and a Navy officer with tours in the Middle East, had always protected Selena. Coming from a tight-knit Hispanic family in Los Angeles, they shared a bond forged in adversity, losing their parents young, navigating identity in a world that often judged. "That woman doesn't deserve you," Elena said firmly. But Selena's heart ached. She loved Magnolia despite the betrayal. Magnolia, meanwhile, reveled in the aftermath's buzz. The stock projections soared. Investors applauded her decisive leadership. Yet, alone in her hotel suite, guilt gnawed at her. She texted Selena, "I'm sorry. It was for the company." No reply. As days passed, Magnolia buried herself in work, ignoring the growing online backlash labeling her a hypocrite. Unbeknownst to her, Elena was mobilizing. A viral video of the speech reached Navy circles, where Elena's unit discussed it during downtime. "That's my sister," Elena confided to her commanding officer. Determined, she requested emergency leave, flying back to the States. The drama was just beginning, as secrets unraveled and hearts collided in unexpected ways. Elena Ramirez touched down at San Francisco Airport with the precision of a military operation, her duffel bag slung over her shoulder, medals glinting under the airport lights. She hadn't seen Selena this broken since their parents' accident a decade ago. Renting a car, she drove straight to Oakland, the Golden Gate Bridge a symbolic gateway to confrontation. "I'm here for you," she told Selena upon arrival, pulling her into a fierce hug. Selena, eyes red from crying, poured out the story, the romance, the secrecy, the public shaming. Elena listened, her jaw tightening. As a lesbian herself, married to her wife back on base, she knew the sting of prejudice. But her Navy training taught her strategy over impulse. "We need to expose the truth," she said. "But smartly." Selena shook her head. "I still love her, Elena. It's complicated." Complicated indeed. Magnolia's betrayal stemmed from her own internalized fears, a mirror of the battles Elena fought in uniform. Back at Apex, Magnolia faced the fallout. Protests gathered outside the headquarters, LGBTQ+ activists waving signs, "No pride in prejudice." The board called an emergency meeting. "This could tank the IPO," one member barked. Magnolia defended her actions. It was about professionalism, not identity. But deep down she regretted every word. Sleepless nights followed, haunted by memories of Selena's laughter echoing in wine country. Selena, on paid leave, wandered San Francisco's streets, reflecting on their love. Flashbacks flooded. Their first date at a jazz club in the Mission District, Magnolia's hand in hers under the table. Whispered promises during a hike in Muir Woods, where ancient redwoods witnessed their vulnerability. "You're my anchor," Magnolia had said. Now it felt like driftwood. Elena, ever the protector, dug deeper. Using her networks, she discovered Magnolia's family history. A father who disowned her brother for being gay, pressuring her to embody perfection. Empathy flickered, but anger prevailed. "She hurt you publicly, we respond publicly," Elena decided. She contacted a journalist friend from her college days at UCLA, now at a major outlet. The article dropped like a bomb. Apex CEO's hypocrisy. Shames assistant while hiding own truth. It hinted at Magnolia's undisclosed relationships without outing her. Focusing on the irony. Social media ignited anew. Magnolia's phone blew up. Investors pulled back. In a panic, she reached out to Selena. "We need to talk. Please." They met at a neutral spot, a quiet cafe in Berkeley overlooking the bay. Magnolia looked haggard, her usual poise cracked. "I was scared," she admitted, tears streaming. "My family's expectations, the board. I thought I had to choose." Selena's heart softened, but pain lingered. "You chose wrong. You humiliated me." As they talked, Elena waited outside, her presence a silent threat. The conversation unearthed raw emotions. Magnolia confessed her love. "You're the best thing in my life. I was a coward." Selena wavered, the chemistry still electric. But betrayal's scar ran deep. "I need time," she said, leaving Magnolia in turmoil. Meanwhile, Elena's Navy status leaked. Not by accident. A fellow officer posted a supportive tweet. "Proud of my comrade Captain Ramirez, standing up for her sister against corporate bigotry." It went viral, linking back to Apex. Suddenly, Magnolia learned the truth. The woman she shamed had a hero sister, a Navy officer risking her life for the country. Shock hit Magnolia like a wave. She researched Elena, medals for valor, speeches on diversity in the military. Guilt compounded. "How could I not know?" she whispered to herself. This revelation forced introspection. Her actions echoed the prejudices she fled from home. As the scandal escalated, Apex's reputation teetered. Magnolia called a press conference, but Elena had plans. She showed up unannounced in full uniform, standing beside Selena. The media frenzy intensified. "This isn't just about my sister," Elena declared to reporters. "It's about dignity for all." Magnolia watched from afar, heart pounding. The confrontation loomed, promising drama that would test loyalties and forge unlikely alliances. The press conference at Apex's sleek headquarters turned chaotic as Elena Ramirez strode in, her navy blues commanding attention amid flashing cameras. Selena stood by her side, a united front against the corporate storm. Magnolia, on stage, faltered mid-sentence, her prepared apology dissolving. "Captain Ramirez," she stammered. "I had no idea." Elena stepped to the mic, her voice steady as a drill sergeant. "You didn't need to know my rank to treat my sister with respect, Miss Thorne. But since you publicly shamed her for being who she is, let's talk about hypocrisy." The room buzzed. Live streams captured every word. Magnolia's face paled. She'd built her empire on innovation, not intolerance. Flashbacks for Magnolia. Growing up in Dallas, where her father's rigid views stifled her true self. She ran to California for freedom, yet replicated the cycle. Now, facing Elena, she saw a mirror of strength she lacked. "I'm sorry," Magnolia said publicly for the first time. "I let fear dictate my actions." Selena deserved better. The apology went viral, but damage lingered. Protests swelled, boycotts threatened. Inside, Magnolia grappled with redemption. She visited Selena's apartment that night, flowers in hand. A bouquet of California poppies, Selena's favorite. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," she pleaded. Selena, torn, let her in. They talked till dawn, about wounds, dreams, and the love that persisted. Elena, staying at a nearby hotel, advised caution. "She's charming, but actions speak louder." Yet, seeing Selena's lingering affection, Elena softened. Over breakfast burritos at a local taqueria, she shared her own story. Coming out in the Navy post-don't ask, don't tell, facing discrimination but rising through ranks. "Love is worth fighting for, but so is self-respect," she told Selena. As weeks unfolded, the trio's paths intertwined. Magnolia invited Elena to speak at a company diversity summit, a genuine pivot. Elena accepted, skeptical but hopeful. The event, held in a San Francisco auditorium, drew crowds. Elena's speech moved many. "In the Navy we fight for freedom, including the freedom to love." Applause thundered. Magnolia watched, pride swelling for the woman connected to her love. But betrayal's shadow loomed. A board member, opposed to the shift, leaked internal emails showing Magnolia's initial plan to fire Selena quietly. The revelation hit like a torpedo. Selena confronted Magnolia. Was it all a lie? Tears flowed. Magnolia admitted her weakness. "I was going to protect us both, but I failed." Heartbroken, Selena distanced herself, seeking solace in Elena's wisdom. They drove to Big Sur, the Pacific Ocean's waves crashing like their emotions. "You're stronger than this," Elena said, hugging her. Selena nodded, but the ache remained. Magnolia, facing isolation, sought therapy, a first for her. Sessions unearthed buried traumas, leading to a public coming out in a Forbes interview. "I'm bisexual, and I've hidden it too long." Selena taught me authenticity. The article humanized her, shifting public opinion. Reconciliation brewed slowly. At a Navy charity gala in Washington, D.C., where Elena was honored, Selena attended as her +1. Magnolia, invited through connections, appeared nervously. Their eyes met across the ballroom, American flags draping the walls. "Can we start over?" Magnolia asked during a slow dance. Selena hesitated, but the spark reignited. Yet, drama peaked when Elena overheard a conversation. A rival CEO plotting to poach Apex talent amid the scandal. Loyal to her sister, Elena tipped off Magnolia anonymously. The intel saved the company, forging an unlikely respect. As bonds mended, the story deepened. Selena and Magnolia rebuilt trust through small acts. Picnics in Golden Gate Park, honest conversations about fears. Elena became a confidant, her military discipline grounding their romance. The climax approached, Apex's IPO day. Amid Wall Street bells, Magnolia dedicated the success to those who taught me courage, glancing at Selena in the crowd. But a final twist. Elena's deployment orders arrived, pulling her away. "Take care of her," she told Magnolia before leaving. In farewell, the sisters shared a tearful airport hug. "You've got this," Elena whispered. Selena returned to Magnolia, ready for a future unshadowed by secrets. With Elena deployed to the Mediterranean, Selena and Magnolia navigated their renewed relationship amid Apex's post-IPO glow. The company thrived, implementing diversity programs that became industry benchmarks. Magnolia transformed, advocated publicly for LGBTQ+ rights, speaking at events from TED Talks to Pride parades. "I almost lost everything to fear," she confessed in one speech, Selena by her side. But absence amplified emotions. Selena missed Elena's guidance, especially during rough patches. Magnolia's demanding schedule reignited old insecurities. One evening, after a heated argument over work-life balance, Selena stormed out to their shared loft in Soma. "I'm not your secret anymore, but I feel invisible," she cried. Magnolia followed, remorseful. "I'm trying, Selena. This is new for me." They sought couples counseling, a staple in progressive California circles. Sessions revealed layers: Selena's abandonment fears from losing parents, Magnolia's perfectionism from her upbringing. Progress came in waves: romantic escapes to Yosemite, where starlit skies fostered vulnerability. "You're my home," Magnolia murmured one night by a campfire. News from Elena brought tension. Her unit faced a skirmish. Reports of injuries surfaced. Selena panicked, glued to CNN. Magnolia supported her, canceling meetings to hold her through sleepless nights. "She's a fighter," Magnolia reassured, drawing from her own research on Navy ops. The crisis bonded them deeper. Elena's safe return call eased the strain. "All good here, sis. How's the CEO treating you?" she teased. Selena laughed, relief flooding. But Elena's words lingered. "Remember, love requires action." Inspired, Magnolia planned a surprise. A proposal at the spot of their first kiss, the office rooftop overlooking the city lights. Kneeling with a ring, a simple band etched with coordinates of their Napa getaway, she asked, "Will you marry me, Selena? No more hiding." Tears streamed. Selena said yes. The engagement made headlines, a symbol of redemption. Yet, conflict resurfaced. Magnolia's ex-board ally, bitter from his ousting, sued for defamation, dredging up the scandal. Courtrooms in downtown San Francisco became battlegrounds. Selena testified, her voice steady. "Love isn't a liability, it's strength." Elena, on leave, flew in to support, her uniform a powerful statement. The trial exposed truths. Magnolia admitted her faults on the stand. "I betrayed the woman I love out of cowardice." The judge ruled in their favor, citing free speech and anti-discrimination laws. Victory tasted sweet, but the ordeal tested resilience. Post-trial, the couple retreated to a cabin in Lake Tahoe. Snow-capped mountains mirrored their journey. Stormy yet beautiful. "We've come so far," Selena reflected. Magnolia nodded. "Because of you and Elena." Elena's influence permeated. She visited upon return, sharing war stories that highlighted human fragility. Over barbecues in the backyard, she bonded with Magnolia. "You hurt my sister, but you've earned a second chance." Magnolia respected her candor, seeing Elena as family. As wedding plans unfolded, a beach ceremony in Malibu with American flair. Fireworks, live bands, diverse guests. The narrative shifted to hope. Selena's bridal shower, hosted by colleagues, celebrated inclusion. Magnolia's vows draft poured emotion. "From betrayal to this, you've shown me grace." But a final drama. On wedding eve, Magnolia received a letter from her estranged father, condemning the union. Heartbroken, she confided in Selena. "He'll never change." Selena held her. "We create our own family." The wedding dawned bright, Pacific waves lapping. Elena walked Selena down the aisle, medals shining. Vows exchanged amid tears and cheers. In sickness and health, through storms and calm, they promised. Honeymoon in Hawaii sealed their bond, sunsets, hikes, intimate talks. Back home, they advocated together, starting a foundation for LGBTQ+ youth in tech and military. Elena's next chapter. Promotion to commander, with Selena and Magnolia cheering at the ceremony. "Proud of you, sis," Selena said. Elena grinned. "Dito. You too inspire me." The story wove threads of pain into tapestry of growth, proving love's endurance. Years unfolded like chapters in a well-loved novel. Selena and Magnolia's marriage became a beacon in Silicon Valley. Their home a hub for gatherings, Thanksgiving feasts with Elena's family, Pride barbecues blending tech moguls and military vets. Apex evolved under joint leadership. Selena promoted to COO, her ideas on inclusive innovation driving profits. But life tested them anew. Elena's deployment to a hotspot brought anxiety. Nightly calls became lifelines. When Elena was wounded in a routine mission, a shrapnel injury requiring surgery, Selena and Magnolia flew to Germany, where she recovered in a military hospital. "You didn't have to come," Elena rasped, bandaged but spirited. Magnolia squeezed her hand. "Your family." The scare deepened gratitude. Back stateside, Elena retired honorably, settling in California. She joined their foundation, channeling experiences into mentorship programs. "From battlefield to boardroom," she joked at launches. Personal milestones marked time. Adopting a rescue dog, a golden retriever named Liberty. Renovating their home with Elena's help, turning it into a sanctuary. Romantically, Selena and Magnolia nurtured their flame. Anniversary trips to national parks, symbolizing America's vast beauty mirroring their love. Conflicts arose, human as ever. A business rival spread rumors of favoritism, echoing old scandals. Magnolia, tempered by past, addressed it head-on in a company town hall. "Our strength is our authenticity." Selena stood proud, the audience applauding. Emotionally, they supported each other through losses. Magnolia's father passed without reconciliation, prompting grief therapy. Selena's empathy shone. "He shaped you but doesn't define you." Elena shared similar stories from service, fostering healing. The narrative's heart lay in quiet moments. Morning coffees overlooking the bay, where they'd reflect on the journey. "Remember that conference?" Selena teased. Magnolia winced. "My biggest mistake and greatest lesson." Their love, forged in fire, emerged resilient. A turning point. Selena discovered she was pregnant via IVF, a dream they'd chased. Magnolia's joy was palpable. "Our family grows." Elena, as aunt, beamed at ultrasounds. The pregnancy brought vulnerability. Magnolia doted, attending Lama's classes, reading parenting books. Labor Day in a San Francisco hospital was intense. Hours of pain. Magnolia's hand crushed in Selena's grip. Baby Sophia arrived crying, a bundle of hope. Elena held her first. "She's a fighter like us." Parenthood transformed them. Sleepless nights blended with wonder. Sophia's first steps in Golden Gate Park. Family picnics under cherry blossoms. Magnolia balanced CEO duties with daddy duties. "Wait, no, as two moms they shared equally." "Teamwork," Selena said. Elena's role expanded. Godmother, storyteller of Navy adventures toned for tiny ears. Auntie Elena's heroes, Sophia called them. As Sophia grew, the family advocated nationally. Testifying in D.C. for equality laws, Magnolia's voice joining Elena's military clout. Their story inspired books, podcasts, a hallmark of American resilience. In twilight years, they retired to a vineyard in Sonoma, echoing early dates. Grandchildren visited. Sophia, now an engineer, carried the legacy. "You two changed the world," she said. Elena's final deployment was metaphorical, volunteering abroad. Upon return, she penned memoirs, dedicating to "my sister and her wife, who taught me love conquers all." The end came peacefully. Magnolia and Selena, hand in hand on their porch watching sunsets. "No regrets," Magnolia whispered. Selena smiled. "Only love." Their tale, from betrayal to bliss, embodied humanity. Flawed, forgiving, forever intertwined. In America's melting pot, it stood as a testament. Love in all forms prevails.